Welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to win at the game of lead gen and marketing in 2024. I've just recently launched a new program. It's called The New Grind. The reason that I named it The New Grind is because the old grind kind of sucked. And I'll caveat this. I'm not saying that it's wrong or that it doesn't work or that there's not a place for it. Just that it sucked. Right, so the old grind is you add in random strangers that fit a demographic profile on Facebook or LinkedIn. You're DMing 100 people a day who don't know who you are, trying to open conversations. You're putting posts up on multiple different platforms without any real coherent strategy, just kind of creating content and hoping that something happens. Most of the time, nothing happens. And overall, there's a lack of strategy, there's a lack of coherence. You're just kind of spinning around like a whirling dervish, doing loads and loads of stuff. And occasionally you'll pick up a client from here, a client from there. You don't really know why, you don't know quite what worked or what resonated. And it feels like a lot of heavy lifting. You're having to do a lot of manual work, chatting to people, getting rejected 98 times out of 100. And it just doesn't feel like fun. It doesn't feel like you're bringing much value to the world. It doesn't feel like you're enjoying your business. It feels like you've got a glorified underpaid job and you're kind of out harassing people all the time. Now, like I said, if you start a business, when you start at ground zero, you generally have lots of time on your hands and very little cash, little experience, little clarity and understanding and knowledge of what works, and not many skill sets when it comes to marketing, writing copy, creating videos, message market fit, how to communicate the right message to your prospects, etc. So you have to put your time in and you have to go and hustle, you have to talk to people, you have to get rejected to figure out the skill sets, to figure out the message, and generally just to inject some energy into your business, because starting a business, getting something off the ground, is like a rocket ship. It requires an immense amount of energy to get it moving. And then once it's moving, once it's in momentum, then it's a lot less energy intensive to keep it propelling forwards. Let me contextualize a little bit who I am if you don't know me very well. I built the Institute of Fitness Behavior Change into a 7-figure a year business, predominantly through running paid ads, join a Facebook group, go through these core pieces of content which are introducing our mechanism, which was behavior change coaching, as a new model, a new way of doing things for online fitness professionals. Right? It's moving away from writing diet and exercise plans because that's commoditized, it's low value, and everybody's doing it, into this higher leverage transformational model where you actually make more impact with your clients. Because it was something different, it was something new, we had to actually shift beliefs and show people a new way of operating. And so that model worked really, really well for us in 2020, 2021, into 2022. Nowadays, the marketplace has shifted a bit. There's been a number of changes. Post-COVID, everyone has now been online. That means competition has just increased tenfold. It used to be a nice to have an online business. Now, or certainly during COVID time, it was an absolute necessity. So everybody was online. And because everybody was online and it was the only way to make money, all of those people, for the most part, went and sought out coaches, mentors, trainings, joined programs. They essentially all learned the same stuff from the same few people. So what used to be effective, understanding your avatar, their pains, their desires, the stuff they've tried before, that stuff used to make you stand out. Now it's just the barrier to entry because everybody has learned that stuff. Everybody. So standing out in today's world is much more difficult. The marketplace that we're in now, because there's so much competition and there's so much of the same message from everyone, what's different? Why would somebody pick this person over that person or that person or that person? The thing that people want in a world of unlimited choice is they want connection, they want depth, They want to feel that they resonate with the person they're going to choose to hire, because especially in a unsophisticated marketplace, which most marketplaces are, anything that's not B2B, like business, pretty much is unsophisticated. They don't know the difference between two people because they're not experts. If they were experts, then they wouldn't need your help, right? They're not experts. So there's two people claiming these different things. Oh, this is the best way to do it, no, that's the best way to do it. The consumer doesn't really know. The way that they make a choice is, who do I like? Who has a personality that I vibe with? Who do I think has shared values, a shared lifestyle? Who is inspirational for me? Who do I picture as my aspirational higher self? The version of me that I could be in a year or two with a bit of work and effort and maybe from learning from this person. They're kind of the buying criteria now, because it's assumed that everyone can do a good job. Right? It's assumed that everyone's qualified. It's assumed that everyone knows how to get results because everyone's saying the same thing. So the way that you stand out is by bringing out your uniqueness. Who are you? And getting that across. But we need to balance that with still bringing new people into our world, speaking to the situation at hand. It's not just a diary. You're not just being an influencer and just talking about yourself all the time with no purpose. It still has to marry with where your prospects are and what's going on in their lives, and then making offers and driving people to actually take action. So the way that I look at this, the NG24 system is an ecosystem. There's no one part that is more or less important. You have to do all three parts. Because if you don't go through all three phases, then you may get some short-term results. And this might resonate. You might have been doing one or maybe even two of these parts previously. But because you were only doing one or two, you weren't doing all three, you would get results for a little while, but then it would kind of fizzle out. And then you would be left back at the drawing board wondering, what happened? Why is this not working anymore? I've been doing this for a while, it was going well. Why has it suddenly stopped? Right? Maybe the world has changed, and the world does move on and change, but probably you've also been missing one of these pieces. So let me break it down for you. The three phases are audience, connection, and conversion. So audience, that means bringing new people into your world. So if you're not growing your audience, if you're not introducing yourself to people that don't know you and getting them on your list, your email list, your social media following, in some way being able to interact with them in the future, then you're essentially selling to the same limited pool of people, which will work to a point until you've finished fishing in that pond and there's no fish left, and now you're not going to catch anything. Once you've got into the open ocean, there's unlimited fish. So audience is bringing new people into our world, and we need a strategy for that. And I'll break down how I would do this in a moment after I go through all three phases. Next phase is connection. As I said, connection is people want to know you, because it's assumed that everyone is kind of the same and relatively good at what they do and getting results. Why would I choose you over the next person? For me, it's twofold. There's two things that go into this. I want to know who you are as a person outside of the practitioner. So whatever your business is, it's easy for you to talk about your business all day, but who are you beyond that? Who are you at home? What are your hobbies? What are your values? What's your belief systems? What's the experiences that you've lived in your life? People want to know the person behind the business, because people don't buy from businesses, people buy from people. Especially if you're in a service business, coaching, anything where you have a relationship with your client. But if you're selling widgets, then you kind of buy in the features of the widget. But if you're buying an intimate relationship, either a coach, a consultant, something where you work on an ongoing basis, people want to know who you are because they're going to be working intimately with you. They're going to be sharing details of their life and business with you. And they want to know that you've got their back, that you're a good person, and that you kind of have shared values and vibe on the same things. So there's who are you behind the scenes? And then there's also the demonstration of expertise and the shifting of belief patterns. Right? Because people see the world this way, and maybe some of that is limited or faulty thinking. And we need to just transition the way that they see the world slightly to open up this new potential. So you used to think that this was true, but now let me show you why this is maybe more true. And then going into the third phase, this is conversion. This is where the money is made. So it's making offers, it's having a conversion funnel where people can come and either buy or apply to join the program, to schedule a sales call, whatever your sales mechanism is. You need to be presenting what is the breakdown of the program, what do you actually do, and proof. So this is how it works, this is my mechanism, this is the details of what I do, and here's the results that is generated for people. And if you don't have all three phases of this system dialed in, then you're missing a trick. You may find that you've learned from coaches and mentors to go out and kind of hustle, DM people, talk about your program, get people on calls, and you've made money doing that in the first 12 to 18 months of a business. The reason being, because these people, for whatever reason, happenstance, maybe you've been unconsciously building social media, maybe it's just old clients from what you've been doing before, etc. These people are already in your audience. And because they've been following you for a little while, they've already been nurtured. They already have some sort of a relationship with you. They kind of know what you're about because they've been there for a while. So what happened is you picked off the low-hanging fruit, the people that were already having passed through phase one and phase two of being in your world and being nurtured and building connection. So they were ready to buy something. On the flip side, there's also lots of people who have big audiences, the influencer type, got big audiences, tens of thousands of people. They're always putting out content, but they never actually make offers. They don't have a clear way for people to come in and buy something. And they're not pushing people to, hey, go and check out this video where I'm going to break down my program, who it's for, what you're going to get, and why you should join. Or they're never chatting to people in the DMs like, hey, if you're interested in doing this, come, let me know what your questions are. Let's have a chat. Let's schedule a call. So it's kind of the two camps. There's the people that are only extracting from the bottom and then not feeding more people into the top. So they have a very limited pool, a small pond to fish in. And then there's the people which are building the big pond, they bring loads and loads of people into their world, they're creating content, but then they're never actually making offers. So you need all three phases to have a successful marketing and lead generation strategy. If you're not doing this, then you're probably already feeling the effects because the market is moving. I think the economy is changing, recession is coming, which means people are less willing to spend their money on, a whim. It's a more considered buy, it's a more logical buy. People want to spend a bit more time with you, they want to have that connection built, and then they want a really clear and solid offer to know exactly what they're getting. They're not going to buy in just because they vibe with you. So they absolutely need to vibe with you, they need to know what you're about, because otherwise you're not even in the conversation. But assuming you're in the conversation, that you vibe, now they need real, concrete, logical presentation of this is what I'm going to get, here's how it's going to work, this is the results I'm going to generate, here's the proof of all the other people that have done it, etc. Without both of those, people are much, much less willing to spend money than they were just a couple of years ago. So let me know if this helps. If you found this valuable, leave a comment. And if you're interested in how I implement this system and the trainings on how to run it in your own business, then just hit me up with a message on Facebook or Instagram, and we will talk about how I can help you. I can send you some details about the New Grind program, where I break all this stuff down and how you can implement it in your business.